If you're running a small business or you're a solo creator, you already know the world of digital marketing can feel, well, like a total mess. You're putting in the work, you're constantly creating, but are you actually connecting with anyone? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and build a really clear roadmap for success, especially now in the age of AI. So let's dive in.
All right, let's just start with the one question that I know drives so many of us absolutely crazy. You work so hard, you spend money, you do everything right to get people to your website. They show up for a second and then nothing. They're just gone. It's a huge missed opportunity and honestly, one of the biggest headaches in the online world.
It really feels like you're stuck on a hamster wheel, doesn't it? You pour all this time and energy into ads and content, and for a split second, it seems like it's working. People are actually showing up, but then poof, they vanish without a trace, and you're left wondering if any of what you're doing is making a difference at all. So the real question is, how do we fix this leaky bucket?
Okay, step one. And honestly, this is the most important piece of the entire marketing puzzle. You have to stop trying to talk to everybody. The solution begins when you get laser focused on exactly who you're trying to reach. I mean, the word marketing has the word market baked right into it for a reason.
You've probably heard this before, but this old saying is more true today than it has ever been. We live in an age where personalization isn't just a nice little bonus, it's completely expected. A generic, watered-down message just becomes invisible noise. You know, your customer doesn't buy when they understand you, they buy when they feel understood by you. That's the key.
So how in the world do we got that specific? Well, we do it by creating something called a buyer persona. And I absolutely love this definition because it really gets to the heart of it. This is not some dry, boring checklist of demographics. Think of it as a rich, semi-fictional portrait of a real person, but it's all built on actual data and research about what makes them tick. Building out this portrait really has 3 layers. First, you start with the basics, demographics. You know, the who they are on paper. Then you've got geographics, the where they live, which can matter more than you think. But the real magic, the part that unlocks everything else, is the psychographics. This is the why. What do they secretly hope for? What are the frustrations that keep them up at night? This is where you go from looking at a statistic to actually seeing a person. And this right here brilliantly illustrates the 2 big forces that are driving every single one of your customers. On one side, they have their miseries, all the problems and frustrations they desperately want to escape. And on the other, they have their miracles, the goals, the dreams, the life they want to achieve. Your marketing's entire job is to be the bridge that gets them from their misery to their miracle.
All right, so once you know who you're talking to and what they truly want, you need a plan. You need a map to guide them. It's time to map out their journey from being a complete stranger to becoming a loyal, raving fan. And that brings us to a really crucial distinction. This is just a perfect metaphor for what most businesses do, often by accident. Do you have a marketing funnel? A clear, structured path that says, hey, you're new? Great, start right here. Or do you have a marketing plate where you just dump all your traffic onto your homepage and kind of hope for the best? Let me tell you, confused customers don't buy. They just leave. Now, inside that funnel, there is one tool that is absolutely 100% non-negotiable for every single business out there. No exceptions. I know you might be hoping for something a little flashier, a little sexier, but the fact is, good old-fashioned email marketing just flat out works. It is the most direct and effective way to build a real relationship with your audience. And hey, if you need a little more proof, just look at that number, a potential return on investment of up to 4,400%. Let that sink in. For every single dollar you put in, you could get $44 back. It's one of the most powerful and consistent tools in all of marketing. If it's not a core part of your strategy, you are literally leaving money on the table. Okay, but this is where everything we've talked about so far gets a massive, massive upgrade. A brand new force has just stormed into the arena and has completely rewritten the marketing playbook from the ground up. Of course, we're talking about AI. For the last 2 decades, the goal was simple, right? Land on that first page of Google. Get your website into those top 10 blue links. Well, that era is over. Done. As you can see here, the customer journey doesn't even start on a search page anymore. For millions of people, it starts inside a chat window. You are no longer competing for a spot on a page. You are competing to become the answer that an AI gives.
And listen, this isn't some far-off trend we're talking about. Look at the insane speed of this change. Right after ChatGPT launched, traffic from these AI tools to retail sites shot up 1,300%. A few months later, 2,200%. And the recent trend is that it's been doubling every 2 months. This is happening right now at lightning speed. But here's the thing you have to remember about massive disruption. It always creates massive opportunity. This is not a moment to be afraid. This is a moment to get incredibly excited. We're talking about a genuine gold rush for anyone who is willing to adapt and play by these new rules. So how does this new AI toolkit actually help solve those old, frustrating problems we started with? This is where the story gets really, really good. Let's take a look at how AI can completely transform your entire workflow. Remember this feeling? The old way of creating something valuable to attract customers, like a guide or a checklist, what we call a lead magnet, was just an absolute grind. You were juggling a dozen disconnected tools, wasting hours, sometimes days, on a clunky process, and you were totally flying blind, with zero idea what was actually working. The result was usually something functional, sure, but kind of bland and robotic. Well, the new AI-powered blueprint just smashes right through all those old problems. The entire process gets simplified down to just 3 steps. You start with a proven template, then you guide the AI with a really clear, powerful prompt, and then, and this is the most important part, you add the magic ingredient. You polish the AI's output, adding your unique stories, your voice, and those emotional hooks that no machine can ever replicate. This is where you make it truly yours. I mean, the difference is just night and day. Look at this. You go from juggling a bunch of clunky apps to one simple, unified system. You go from days of frustrating work to getting a quality draft in minutes. And maybe most importantly, you go from pure guesswork to a process that is completely data-driven and trackable. This whole revolution is about fixing every single one of those old pain points. And what's really cool now is that the best platforms are so much more than just content writers. They are complete all-in-one toolkits. So yeah, they have the AI templates, but they also have the trackable links, the built-in analytics, and the landing page builders. The whole shebang all in one place. So let's just be crystal clear about this. We are not talking about some small, tiny improvement here. This isn't just about writing an email a little bit faster. This is a fundamental reimagining of your entire marketing workflow from the very beginning to the very end. It's a shift from feeling stressed and bogged down to feeling empowered and creative. Which, of course, brings us to the final big question that you should be asking yourself. You've seen the old, frustrating way, and you've seen the new, streamlined, AI-powered way. The technology isn't coming, it's here, right now. So the only real question left is your marketing ready for it?